you might want to crack open a little brewski with one of your favorite Good Day Anchors face plastered right on it.
Yeah, Cody's Caravan's in the 209 this morning, unveiling his very own beer.
I'm so excited.
Hey, Cody.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so exciting. This is so exciting. Cody's Caravan in Modesto this morning, Persuasion Brewery, where we learned to brew beer. We're almost done. Yes. We're almost ready to pour these things.
We have one keg packaged. What we were going to do today is actually have you, Cody, do a little packaging for us.
Oh, I didn't know I'd have to work.
Yes, we figured you are skilled and you can work with us too. We need help here.
Okay, so what am I doing here? What is this? What's going on?
We're taking olive Stark plug, which is contained in this vessel, and we're pushing all that beer into large packaging. So we're pushing beer into kegs today.
Okay. So that right there, that's full of Stark plug.
This is our level, man. We've got quite a bit of Stark plug. So
liquid gold, baby.
Hopefully.
All right.
We haven't tried it yet, so we don't know.
Oh, really?
No, we haven't.
Okay. You got me there. Okay. All right. So what do I need to do? I got to fill these kegs.
So we're gonna go ahead and hit this valve here. You're gonna turn it clockwise or counterclockwise. Sorry. Now you can feel and hear the beer going into the keg.
Okay.
Then we're gonna exhaust it. So if you want to open up that valve a little bit, shoot beer at Sean over there. I'm kidding.
Oh.
So go ahead and just open that a little bit.
Open that a little bit.
Just
what's going on there?
Right there. So we're just venting out. So when we clean the kegs, we fill them. We clean them with acid solution. Then we fill them with CO2. So they're pressurized when they're sitting clean. They're pressurized. So we're just venting out extra CO2.
Oh, I've got some venting to do.
I'm sure you
got a lot of venting to do.
With gases today, bro. So honestly, we can go over and open up this keg as well and start filling that.
So turn it in.
Go ahead and turn that.
All right.
And then we'll go ahead and open this. We didn't smell this one, so we just want to confirm that the keg is. Give that a smell.
Smells like beer.
Smells like beer. That's what it should smell like. So this will take about 9 minutes to fill these two kegs. After that, we'll go into cleaning in place. We have a bright tank here that we just pulled open, and we're going to do some cleaning with caustic.
No.
So it's called CIP, cleaning in place.
Okay.
So it's chemical, either cleaning, rinsing, or sanitization. And we'll have you playing with sodium hydroxide today.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
That sounds like fun.
It is. It's going to, as long as we have eye protection, it'll be great, Cody.
Fantastic. What has the clamoring been like for the Stark plug? Have you noticed that people have been lining up? Or they?
Well, we're going to release it today. People are definitely stoked on IPAs that come from Persuasion, and I think they'll be extra stoked because it's you.
Okay. Fantastic. If people want to come down and enjoy the Stark plug and all the other lovely beers that you have here, how do they find you?
We're at 507th Street in Modesto, California. We're about a mile, less than a mile from 99 if you're southbound or northbound. Jump off the freeway. We're about three blocks off of 99.
Yeah, it's a perfect spot. It's a perfect spot.
Did you find it pretty easily?
I did.
Awesome.
And you know I get lost very easily.
Well, your parking arrangement was quite spectacular here.
Here's the problem. There is no backup camera in this thing. I do not know how we're going to get this out of here.
Maybe you can just stay all day.
Yeah. It might be a permanent attraction here at Persuasion.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
I'm down. That's a lot of fun.
All right. So coming up, the next part, and then we try it, right?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do it. We're going to try the Stark plug beer. Back to you guys.
I feel like you just need to come up with a jingle. To go with the Stark plug, you need a jingle.
Ooh, a jingle.
Right?
Do you have a jingle?
No, but Courtney says we need to come up with a jingle.
Workshop it.
For Stark
Take
plug.
your time.
Yeah.
Workshop it.
We can.
Yeah.
Tom's here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We have a resident musician and artist here, so we
fantastic.
may be able to pull that off.
Okay, we'll work on that, Courtney.
Perfect.
Thanks for giving us another job.
I'm also looking
Love you,
forward
Code.
to Cody playing with chemicals later. That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. That'll be a good time.
So we're almost ready to try the Stark plug.
We are.
But there's a couple little different processes we got to do before we can do it.
We just have some cellar work to do in the morning. We're doing cellar work, Cody. So you're gonna tag along with us, or I think actually maybe you'll just do the work for us.
That's why you invited me here.
That's why we
I
invited you.
see.
It's not
They
about
put
the
your
beer.
face on the label to get you to work.
To get you to work.
Okay, so what's going on right here?
So we have two samples. I degassed one. We're going to have you degas the other sample. We're
Okay.
going to take what's called a gravity. We're checking the density of the beer to determine how much sugar is left, or how much sugar is left in the beer.
Okay.
That will allow us to then determine the alcohol, ethanol that's in the beer.
Okay,
So
let me
we
do my Back to the Future.
Yes,
You are my density. You are my density.
What'd you get out of that?
Nothing.
You didn't-
Okay.
Okay.
Hold this.
I will hold this.
Okay, so I gotta just pour it back and forth.
Just pour it back and forth.
Just like that.
Yes. So you want to get like you're at a fancy restaurant.
Oh, okay. The fire.
Get a little higher. Don't spill the ice. Ice splashes.
How many times do I do this?
327. 30, around 25 to 30 times. You're good.
Tell the affiliates we're going long. Okay.
All right, we can actually just use the degas sample.
All right.
So we made you work for nothing.
Oh, thanks.
I know.
Okay, so what do I do here?
So then what we're going to do is we're going to check the gravity. We're going to pour that into the our graduated cylinder here. And as you pour, you're just going to keep pouring until the foam overflows. You want to get 0 foam in there.
0 foam. Like that?
There you go.
Okay.
So then we'll just give it a little spin.
And what am I looking at?
Now, what we're checking is essentially final gravity here. You're looking at 1.000 would be water. And as you can see, there's 1.000, there's 5 graduations, and we're looking at, what, 10? Let's let it spin around. So there's 1010. We're looking at about 1012.
Is that good?
That is absolutely good,
Oh,
because
I did it.
that's what we expected.
Yes!
You fixed the beer for us, Cody.
I did.
Thank God, thank goodness. Now we have a pale ale that we can release in 2 weeks, thanks to you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Also, some cleaning needs to be done before we can have beer?
Yeah, so, well, part of beer making is 70% of making beer is kind of janitorial services. We're cleaning tanks. We're passivating tanks, and a part of that is using different chemicals and processes to clean the tanks. A lot of times there's places you can't reach, whether it be pipe work, static pipes, our heat exchanger that we referenced earlier. You just can't get in there to clean. So what you do is you use mechanical, you use the flow of water, and you use temperature and chemicals.
Okay.
So our bright tank here, if you want to take a look, it's relatively clean. We have some yeast and some other byproducts of making beer in the bottom here, but we hot rinsed it, so most of that stuff has been washed down the drain. The next step is we're going to take 1,200 milliliters of sodium hydroxide.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want me to do this?
You probably should put on your PPE first.
Oh. Hold that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've heard things about caustic and eyeballs. It's not good.
Okay.
All right, so then we'll take that sodium hydroxide, and we're going to dump that into our bright tank. There we go.
Okay.
All right, we're going to close this guy up.
And it do its thing. It do its thing. I feel like you're cracking a safe. Okay, so we're cleaning that sucker, and then that means our next step is actually trying the beer.
Absolutely.
All right, coming up, we're going to try Stark Plug, the beer that I brewed the last time I was here. Back to you guys.
Cody, you look incredibly cool with those safety goggles on.
On top of glasses,
Yeah.
Totally cool.
Thank you, Cody.
I want to show you the entire beer brewing process in 3 minutes or less. Are you ready? Go!
Barely, but we can do it. So we're here in the grain room. Beer starts as grain. Everything contained within the grain, everything a beer needs is contained within the grain.
Okay.
So we start with a grain.
All right.
First step is milling.
Milling. Go to the miller. Toss it in here.
Toss it in. Turn it on. Our flex auger is going to take all that milled grain
Okay.
from our grain mill over to our grist case. The reason we mill it up is so all of the enzymes in the grain can attack the starches and convert them to sugars, which is later used to produce ethanol. Here's our grist case. We're typically running about 600 to 900 pounds in the grist case.
Okay.
Once the grain gets into the grist case, it's then transferred over through our flex auger to our mash lauter time. This is where we make barley tea.
Barley tea.
Temps are in between 149 to 160. We make tea for about 60 minutes. We let all those starches convert to sugars so the yeast can eat them and produce ethanol and CO2.
Okay, done.
We then lauter and move the full volume of sweet water, essentially, into the boil kettle. We end up boiling for about 60 minutes. Part of that process is to convert alpha acids over to bittering to create bitter beer.
Okay.
People actually like bitter beer. One cool thing about Persuasion, our 2 tanks over here, this is our hot water and our cold water. All water used in the beer making process is reverse osmosis. So we're actually creating a base water based on beer profiles. So if we're making a Czech Pilsner, we're actually mimicking the groundwater from Czechoslovakia.
That's fascinating.
Beer is regional, much like salsa and cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
So
you got to get a minute 10.
we got a minute. Are
10.
you sure?
Okay. Yeah, minute.
Okay. So then we go from boil kettle. We drop the temperature using our heat exchanger, and we send that full volume of beer, typically around 360 to 380 gallons, from our heat exchanger into one of our fermenters. We will ferment. Our primary fermentation will last about 6 days. Beer's in the fermenter for about 14 to 25 days.
Okay.
At some point, we will dry hop the beer. Here's our hops.
Okay.
We use hops as flavoring, regardless of what style.
Okay.
After the fermentation is done, we end up dropping everything out, and we end up packaging, which is behind you.
Right.
Part of that packaging process is putting beer in the can.
Oh.
The other and one of the most important processes of getting beer into small packaging is our artwork.
Absolutely.
As you guys saw earlier, artwork is very important. So beer goes from grain. We use grain, water, hops, and yeast. And then we keg it and package it, and we have a label made.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very important. Behind you is Shelby, who's our resident artist.
Shelby.
She produces every label that goes on cans at Persuasion.
She's brilliant. She's brilliant. And then the final process.
The final process, Jonas over here can help us out.
Jonas.
Open the can. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is the spark plug.
And there you go. That's the entire beer making process in 3 minutes or less. That looks delicious. That's a good pour, man. That's a good pour.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Fantastic. There you go, guys. Back to you in the studio.
People
at
say
that.
Cody has a big head. I think it looks perfect there.
In the Stark Plug.